Welcome!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to the 20th edition of the Unlimited Podcast here at the Unlimited YouTube channel. I cannot believe we made it to 20. You know, I didn't even think I'd get past 1, and here we are at 20. Thanks to all the guests that have appeared and, you know, all the fun we've had, all of the viewers that have watched, all the subscribers that have subscribed and have liked these videos and have disliked these videos. Thanks a lot. 20 podcasts. I'm hoping for 200 in 2018.
That's a bit excessive, but okay.
You're going to do one every single day about random topics. We're going to make Monday and Tuesday about Raw and SmackDown. Wednesday can be about, like,
NXT.
Yeah.
The rest of the week is about whatever.
Thursday can be about, like, street lights. Friday can be about time zones. I know Brett would probably love to talk about them.
Oh God, he'd have an aneurysm.
Oh my God. But thank you all for tuning into this. We're at 0 viewers right now, but hopefully we get 1 or 2. I'm Matt from Unlimited, like I said. I'm being joined by my special guest, Walter Main, who hasn't really been on in a while. But how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Been extremely busy.
I would imagine, especially at this time of the year, right? It's
probably
a nightmare.
Yeah, working retail, that's totally fun this time of year.
Oh yeah, just awesome. It's I'll say this though, at least you have a job. I'm still searching.
True.
But hopefully I get something soon. But for now, we got Survivor Series and NXT Takeover War Games all happening this weekend. War Games actually happening tonight. Survivor Series tomorrow. Survivor Series, it's the 31st or the 30th? Or am I way off?
To the old trusty phone.
To the old Google machine. In fact, let me open up the Survivor Series card. I already have the Takeover card up. Just don't have the Survivor Series card up. 31st.
So it started in 86? No, it would have started in 87.
Yeah, 87. It's the 31st edition.
Yeah.
But yeah, 31st edition. It's actually a little bit surprising because I know there were talks a couple years ago saying that WWE was going to do away with Survivor Series, which, you know, after seeing some of the shows that they had in like 2010 and 2012, I could understand why.
Right, but then you look at shows that the concept has produced, like last year's, like 2002, 2003. It's produced some really solid cards through the years.
Yeah, definitely. And the traditional Survivor Series matches have generally been good, and I say generally because, you know, there's always some hit or miss action in WWE.
Right, but it's hard to take 10 guys, split them into 2 teams, have it elimination style, and have it not be, at the very least, fun.
Exactly. And sometimes you get to see teams that, you know, have never competed with each other, competed against each other, and, you know, a lot of Raw versus SmackDown, or team heel versus team babyface, or team babyface versus team babyface. You know, it can work.
Or in 95, they had a really cool concept where it was the wild card match, where they mixed heels and faces together and put them on the teams.
Oh, I remember you asking that, and I honestly forgot that concept, and I had to go back and look at it. But that's actually interesting.
Yeah,
you know, adds a nice little element to it.
They've done some neat stuff with Survivor Series, like they did the match of Ultimate Survival in, I think, 1990.
Right.
Where they had the whole card was 5-on-5 eliminations, and at the end of the night, the survivors from each team split into 2 teams and fought in the match of Ultimate Survival.
Nice. But yeah, Survivor Series has definitely seen some good moments, and hopefully we get a couple more of them tomorrow night. It'll be interesting to see. But first, let's talk about the return of War Games.
Oh, I'm beyond excited for that.
NXT decided to bring back an old WCW concept of War Games.
That should have been brought back a long time ago.
And it should have been brought back as a main roster thing. But
Yes.
I'm okay with it being an NXT thing. Give them something different.
Especially with the guys they have involved.
Exactly.
It's going to be great.
That'll actually factor in because apparently they redid the War Game structure. Now there's no roof.
Oh.
And I think if I read the report right, Triple H said basically in a conference call that they got rid of the roof because the roof leaves you really limited, especially the guys in today's NXT that could really take risks and do some cool things. If you have a roof over their heads, you're limiting them.
It even limits the power guys.
Yeah,
like the Authors of Pain. It would be so hard to hit that cool Super Collider powerbomb they do, where they smash the guys together then powerbomb them.
If their heads are touching, if their heads are touching the roof.
With power bombs and War Games, that just makes me think back to what happened with Sid and Brian Pillman when they had to stop the match because Sid knocked Pillman out.
Yeah.
Because he landed like really awkwardly on the side of his head and shoulder. Because Sid was trying to get him up for a power bomb while not smashing his head into the cage.
Psycho Sid. The man, the myth, and the legend known as Psycho Sid.
Can we do this over again?
Can we talk about... No. When I said that, you know, we're gonna have random podcasts next year, can we please have one about Sin 2001? Please. And can we just talk about that epic fatal 4-way match?
Oh my god.
Where the fourth person wasn't even revealed and Sid broke his leg.
WCW.
Oh god.
Oh god.
You know what? I might just say screw it and just end the podcast now because I can't stop laughing.
Okay, let's get on focus.
Okay. I'll try.
NXT TakeOver. Let me pull up the card here.
I'm looking at the card now. 6 matches. Well, all right, 5 matches, and the 6th one is apparently going to air on NXT.
Right.
Which I'm not really happy about. Because, you know, I've seen Pete Dunne. I like Gargano. To me, excluding them, not really the best move.
I think it'd be neat if they just unannounced put it on the main card. Put it as the opener. Yeah,
the opener, or even it could be a mid-card match too.
Right. Pete Dunne, Gargano, they can both go.
And especially like the whole concept of the UK title. Well, how can you know there's a UK champion if you don't feature him?
Right. And WWE's obviously high on Pete Dunne.
Absolutely, yeah. Had him debut on the main roster, which is good.
Right. I think they seem to be high on Gargano because they're giving him what's probably going to be one of NXT's most featured storylines once Ciampa comes back.
When is Ciampa coming back?
Whenever his knee is healed up.
Okay.
I'm imagining it might end up being TakeOver New Orleans where they have the match.
Okay, makes sense. But that kind of puts WWE in an awkward position too, because they could have jumped right into that, and now they can't. So you have to improvise with what you have, which we'll talk about. We talked about improvising with TLC. Well, now they have to improvise with Gargano. So I think putting him in the UK or in this match for the UK title is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to go out and win it.
I don't think he will, because I don't think they're going to have guys from outside of the UK win it just yet.
Yeah.
Just yet.
But Gargano and Dunne should be a fun match, but I just wish they aired it.
Right, and I'm going with Dunne for that match.
I'll go with Dunne for that match too. And then we have, let's see, We have Ono versus Sullivan. I honestly have no idea who Lars Sullivan is.
So no one else will get this. You know that guy whose face I always spam?
Yes.
Him. That's Lars Sullivan.
Oh my god.
And do you remember a few years ago when they had an NXT signee where, like, a picture of just how massive his hands were made the rounds?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, but yeah, it's that guy. He's a powerhouse. He's a monster heel.
Okay.
He seems like he's all right. He hasn't really gotten a chance to show off anything other than squash matches, and this should be where he gets to show off.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, and I like Ono. I wish they weren't using him in this spot, but I have to go Lars Sullivan.
I'll probably say the same just to have a pick. I wasn't really the biggest fan of Chris Hero or Ono. I never really got it. I don't know why, but maybe I need to see more of them. But
right, his whole thing is he's a very stiff, very athletic worker.
Right. So yeah, I'll go with Sullivan for that. Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream.
I love the Velveteen Dream.
I too love the Velveteen Dream.
He is a master of character work and psychology.
Right.
He could be a modern day Goldust.
Maharaja. Oh.
No.
No. Shout out to Gender.
Yeah, he could be like modern day Goldust style, but with a bit of a twist.
Okay.
And I think pairing him with Aleister Black was perfect for both guys.
Have they actually gotten like television time? Have they been feuding,
yes.
Or is this just the match?
They've been feuding since like 2 weeks after the last takeover.
Okay.
So it's been building. It's been brooding.
Okay.
The whole thing is Velveteen Dream is trying to get Aleister Black's attention, and the whole thing is he's been screaming at him, "You will say my name," and Aleister Black is refusing to acknowledge his existence. And it just came to a point where Velveteen Dream attacked him, and they set up the match.
See, look at that simplicity.
Right.
God forbid we have some of that. But yeah, I like both guys. I saw Aleister Black at one of the other takeovers. It might have been Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I've seen a little bit of the Velveteen Dream to like him. So, unfortunately,
I've got to go Aleister Black.
Yeah, unfortunately, putting them together right now, I don't know.
Right.
But I'll go with the Velveteen Dream just to be different.
Yeah. I just think they're gearing up Aleister Black for a title shot.
Okay.
So I think they're going to keep him undefeated.
I'm hearing a lot. I guess we'll get to that when we get to the main event, but I'm hearing that CN is going to get called up.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
I don't even know if it's being reported or someone just said it, but I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
It's either CN or Drew. I don't think Drew would get called up this quickly.
No, I think he's going to be one of the post-Mania call-ups.
Probably, yeah. And they'll act like he doesn't exist. Or they'll act like he never existed before this run.
Right.
Like, oh, the debuting rookie, Drew McIntyre.
No, what they'll do is they'll act like he didn't wrestle a day after leaving.
Or kind of like how, when Mickie James left the WWE, went to TNA, and then she came back. Oh, she hasn't wrestled in 6 years. Well, about that. Oh my God. Or AJ Styles, like, ever since he he left TNA, didn't acknowledge him going to ROH or anything like that.
Right.
You know, oh, he hasn't wrestled in a while. One of the world's best, but we have no idea. We don't know about him because TNA doesn't exist and ROH doesn't exist. Anyway, then we get to, I guess we'll go to the 4-way match. Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Kairi, what?
Kairi Sane.
Never heard of her either.
She won the Mae Young Classic.
Okay.
And she has pretty much the best elbow drop in the business off the top.
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch her because I don't know her.
Yeah, she's super good.
Okay.
A lot of people think she's going to be the next big deal in the NXT Women's Division, which apparently the NXT Women's Division will now be run by Japanese people.
Yeah.
But for now, I think I'm going to go Ember Moon.
Okay. I hate the fact that there's another fatal 4-way match involving women.
Yeah.
Because it seems like that's WWE's just go-to. Like,
right.
Oh, we got nothing for them. Let's put them together. Like you even see it on the main roster.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that I like. You know, it kind of just shows that there's no direction. They're just there.
Yeah.
But I'll go Ember Moon because I've been saying she's going to win the title for months. It's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Then we get to... Should we do title? Yeah, let's do title match. Drew McIntyre versus Cien.
Yeah, because War Games is main eventing. It has to.
War Games is kicking off the show. Imagine they kick off the show with War Games, and then they get rid of the second ring. They spend like a half hour just removing the ring.
That would be so awkward.
Like you'd have to do like a half hour of interviews or stuff to like, you know, to keep things moving, or like a promo segment or something.
But yeah, War Games is probably going to main event.
I would hope so. You know, it's named after it, so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, the match hasn't been seen in 20 years.
Exactly, and it was a big deal in WCW. It's a big deal now. So.
Right.
Yeah. So Drew McIntyre versus Cien.
I think it's going to be a great match. Both guys can work really well. Cien has been a workhorse in NXT since he got there.
I agree.
And is finally getting his due. But I have to go Drew. Like, there's no way I think that they take it off of Drew before defending it at least one takeover.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I like Cien. He's grown on me. You know, at first I didn't really get him, but I guess because he didn't really get a chance to show himself that much.
Right. He didn't really get a chance to show his personality.
Yeah. But now he's doing well. I like him. I would like to see him win, but I'm going to go with Drew.
Right. And that's probably the smart move for them to have Drew keep the title.
Right. Then we get to the main event, or what's hoped to be the main event. Authors of Pain and Roddy versus Sanity versus the Undisputed Era in a War Games match.
Oh.
Excited for the return of War Games.
Yes, very excited. It's one of my favorite match types that any company has ever done.
Remind me of the rules again. They start at like they come in at random intervals, right?
If they're gonna go with the classic rules, it's 2 people start off, or 3. It would probably be 3 since it's 3 teams.
Right.
And then a drawing would be held to see who gets the man advantage, and then who would be at the disadvantage.
Right.
And in 2 minutes, and after the initial 5 minutes, every 2 minutes someone comes out.
Okay.
From alternating teams.
All right, so it's kind of like how TNA does Lethal Lockdown.
Right. And then once all of them are in there, if it's the same as before, it's submit or surrender.
Which I think in this case, they're probably just going to make it pin or submission.
Right.
They're going to say surrender doesn't say... Surrender is like too non-PG.
Right.
I can't even... Oh, my God.
Like, they've actually had things where people have... They actually did it once or twice where people have surrendered the match.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, where, like, they weren't in a hold or anything. They were just like, okay, done. Like, 1 year it was NWO versus the Horsemen.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
Kurt Hennig was supposed to be on the Horseman team. But he turned, joined the NWO, and they handcuffed the other members of the team and were forcing them to watch all five of them beat up Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. And they were going to slam his head in the cage. And Mongo was like, no, we quit.
Wow.
And then they still slammed Ric Flair's head in the door.
Oh, of course. But yeah, this has the opportunity to really steal the weekend, let alone the show.
Oh yeah. It could steal the year.
It could be a match of the year candidate for the Unlimited Awards coming in December. But I'll announce them soon.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. And also, there's going to be a Q&A going up later, so be ready for that. Just a little bit of promotion. Just a little.
This match is so hard to call. Like, any of the three teams could win, and it would make logical sense.
Right. I didn't know Roddy was a heel.
He's not. Does it paint
her face?
I think they kind of turned, like when they started feuding with both Sanity and the Undisputed Era.
Okay. I think I have my pick.
But since they just got there, I think I'm going to go Undisputed Era.
That's where I was going to. So we only disagreed on one match.
Right.
So we're both going to be wrong, and I'll be right for one of them. The score will be like 1-0. Final totals 1-0.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was NXT Takeover. Speaking of takeovers, the next one's Philly, right?
Yes.
So it'd be Philly, New Orleans, Brooklyn 4, I'm assuming.
And there's probably going to be one in between New Orleans and Brooklyn 4.
Right. Kind of like there was with Chicago.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they just have the post-Mania pay-per-view have a takeover as well, like to just set up the rest of the year. Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I'm opposed to having a takeover before every Mania, or not before every Mania, before every pay-per-view.
That would be excessive.
A little bit too excessive, especially with the amount of pay-per-views they have now.
Right. Like, have it
how many are we going to have next year? 20?
Oh, my God. Have it with the big four, and then maybe one or two in between.
Right. And hit up the big cities.
Chicago, L.A., Minneapolis.
Of course you say Chicago first.
So I can go to it.
You know what, though? How about Matt? Why? I know they're going to Brooklyn. Why not go to the Garden? Honestly.
NXT TakeOver MSG.
Why not? They haven't been to MSG for a televised event since they did that live event in 2015. It's been 2 years. Yeah.
I remember when they first stopped doing that. Apparently, MSG charges a lot for televised events.
Yeah, I could see that. Although they are going back to the Manhattan Center.
That would be neat.
Or hell, you know what would be really unique, even though ROH does this? Why not go to the ballroom, the Hammerstein Ballroom?
You know what I think would be cool?
What?
Is if for TakeOver Philly, they did it in the ECW arena.
ECW arena, yeah, definitely. Or I don't know. I don't know if they draw the crowd for this, but for Mania weekend, why not put it in the same stadium?
That would be so risky.
It would, and especially considering, Mania is probably going to wind up 75,000+. TakeOver would probably only get around 40, if that.
Yeah, and while that's a big crowd, it would look bad on TV.
Yeah, they would have to
tarp off the top half.
That or move everybody to one side of the stadium, kind of like how TNA did when they were having problems.
Yeah. So
which would make the crowd look less authentic. Right.
So I think keeping it in a smaller venue around the area is still the better choice.
Right. Even if, if they went back to Chicago, instead of doing, the Allstate Arena, why not do the Sears Center?
Yeah.
I know that's not really in Chicago, but still, neither is Allstate Arena.
Right. If they wanted to go actually in Chicago, they would go to the United Center.
Which I don't think WWE's been there. Or if they have, it hasn't been a while. It's been a while.
Once. They were the first event at the United Center.
And that was it?
Yep, SummerSlam 94.
Wow. And I know WCW went there a lot.
That was WCW's place in Chicago.
Right. But yeah, that's it for TakeOver. So now we get to Survivor Series.
Looks good on paper.
Excitement level?
7.
I'll go with I'll say 6. I think that there's some matches that have potential. There are a few matches that unfortunately are hurt by, not a lot of build.
Right.
To be fair, as great as Shield versus New Day sounds on paper, they literally only announced it on Monday.
I understand, but that's still one of the matches I'm most excited for.
I am too, and that was going to lead to a question later on, but also, even Charlotte versus Alexa, and I know I made that comment in the description box. That should be a match that's saved and given enough time to build up.
Right. I still think that match is going to be awesome too.
I hope so. I'm excited for those matches more than I am for the women's 5-on-5 match.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit excited for the regular Raw and SmackDown tag match. Raw versus SmackDown tag match, I mean.
I think that has a lot of potential for surprises.
I hope so. It can also give us a little bit of a preview for what may come at Mania.
Yeah.
Because especially, Triple H is there. So, it's time to start building his Mania match.
Oh, of course.
He's the first on the list. Top priority. Breakfast Club always wins.
Always.
Yeah, and other than that, there's a couple of matches I'm not really excited for. I'm not excited for Brock AJ. I'm really not.
I am for one reason. And a question is going to lead into my statement here. Okay. What has Brock's best match been since he's come back?
Probably. I honestly have to go back to his match against Roman.
See, I'd say it was his match against Punk at SummerSlam 13.
All right, I'll give you that.
And that match is still talked about.
Yeah. And SummerSlam 2013 in general is still talked about.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
You know what might get, and you know how Vince is really petty towards people that leave?
Yes.
You think he might want to have them eclipse that match, and that's why maybe they made the decision to put the title on AJ and have AJ versus Brock?
Maybe. Whatever the case may be, I'm not confident. I'm just not.
Right.
And there's always that fear. I'll put it this way. It took 9 minutes to beat Strowman, who went a month or two of being nothing but just dominant. So what chance does a Styles have if he can barely beat Jinder Mahal? Realistically. I'm hoping it's competitive, but I'm not confident. The question I have, though, is will that match main event?
Yes.
I'll agree. But yeah, let's kick off with another match that I think has some potential to it. Raw versus SmackDown tag title holders are facing each other. The Usos versus The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus.
No, you said it wrong. It's DeBar.
The Bar. Lay Bar.
We don't set the bar. We are the bar.
Say it like Cesaro talks now.
With his missing teeth.
We are the bar. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, why are you putting a microphone in his hands?
Yeah. This match is going to be really good.
I hope so.
It has potential to rival the stuff that the Usos did with the New Day.
I agree.
And I'm going to go Usos.
I'm going to go... I'll go Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yeah. And while we're on this match, think back a year ago or a year and a half ago with the Usos.
Yeah.
They were bland. We were tired of them.
They were turned heel, but they didn't do anything with them.
Right.
At that time.
And then like once the heel turn happened and they got a fire under them, they've been doing the work of their career.
Right. I completely agree. I still love the rap battle. It's probably my favorite.
Oh yeah.
That whole overall feud with New Day was really good. The matches they had were good.
Yeah. The Hell in a Cell match they had was absolutely terrific.
Great kickoff match. It was great.
Oh yeah.
It was a really good match. But I'll go with the Bar for now.
Yeah, I'm going Usos.
Okay. So, see, I know it's gonna wind up coming down to the last match, like always.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of like, seeing which, I have to be careful with how I pick these.
Right, because it's going to come down to the last match to see which brand wins.
Exactly. So now let's go to IC champion The Miz versus US champion Baron Corbin. I don't really like the concept, and kind of going back to the tag match too. I don't really like the concept of heels versus heels that much.
Right. The build to this has been good with the online videos posted.
I think Miz's build was better.
Same.
I don't the Corbin side has just not been good.
Yeah.
And then that kind of goes into the fact that, again, we didn't know for sure who Miz was going to face because it was Corbin versus Sin Cara on Tuesday. So we
Right.
weren't for sure. Like, we didn't know that.
Right. But I'm going to go Miz.
Well,
I think the Miz Taraj will get involved. He'll find some way to go through the back door, get a win.
see, for me, I'll be an a-hole. This feud so far has been all Miz, so that means of course Baron Corbin's gonna win at Survivor Series. I'll go Baron Corbin. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? I'll be the smartass. I'll say it. Raw versus SmackDown women's match. The 5-on-5 match, captained by Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox.
Bye. Versus Team SmackDown, captained by Becky, I believe, is the captain. Or am I way off?
I think Becky is the captain.
Okay. If she's not the captain, I apologize.
And the big question here, who is the 5th member for SmackDown?
Wait. It says Natalya.
What?
On the Wikipedia page, it says Natalya.
Everyone's been talking about it like it was like it actually wasn't confirmed.
Oh. Well, it may not be Natalya. You never know. Edit Wikipedia.
Right. Rumors have been abound that one of the rumors is that they'll just go Natalya.
Which I think makes the most sense.
And 2 returns have been rumored in it. One is Nikki Bella.
Oh, all right.
And the other would be Paige.
See, I thought that if Raw had an opening, Paige would come back.
Right, because I think she was drafted to Raw.
I believe so. Yeah, I could see Natalya being the best choice. Not the best choice, but the most likely choice. I think that Nikki Bella sounds like a possibility. I don't know about Paige. I don't know.
They might not view her as ready yet because it's been how long since she's been in the ring, so they might want to
give her a couple of tune-up matches.
Right. Have her work at the Performance Center a little more.
Yeah, maybe have her
the rust off.
Yeah, maybe wrestle a couple house shows.
Right.
Ease her back a little bit. I could see her being a Rumble comeback or maybe the Raw after Rumble.
Yeah.
When they inevitably do the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Because and say Alexa has cleaned out the division and then Paige comes out. Because Paige versus Alexa would be fun.
I agree. I think the feud might be good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't hate Paige. I hope people don't realize that. I don't hate her. I just never really got her.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of Paige. I've just thought she was different. I thought she was unique.
Right. But in terms of this match, another problem with this card, predicting it, is you don't know what that's pretty much the problem with every card. You don't know what the card structure is.
Right.
So this match could co-main event, and Raw could be up 3-1, and then I pick Raw and SmackDown wins.
Right. I think I'm going to go SmackDown for this one. And I think what's going to happen is both Sasha and Bayley are on Team Raw, right?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, they are. I think I know where you're going with this.
So what I think is going to happen is it's going to be down to Sasha and Bayley on one side and say Becky on the other.
Okay.
And Becky's going to get a roll-up on Sasha.
An eliminator.
An eliminator. And then Bayley's going to come in and try to get the offense. And Sasha will have not left the ring. She'll just be like sitting in the corner.
Right.
And then she's just going to maul Bayley.
She's just gonna kill her.
she's going to viciously attack her.
Okay.
And then Becky's going to like be looking up like, what am I actually supposed to do here? And then she'll probably just like snap on the disarmer. Something along those lines. I think it's going to end with Sasha turning heel.
All right, I'll agree with, or not agree with it, but that is a possibility. I just don't see it being Becky. I think it would actually work better if it was Carmella.
Okay. See, I didn't know if Carmella was in there. So switch Carmella with Becky.
Because that's more of a heel move. You know, a babyface move would be, you know, trying to stop Sasha.
Right.
A heel move would be, oh my God, she's on the ground. Pin her now.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, switch it with Carmella.
Okay. But I'm going to say Raw.
Okay.
And I think the sole survivor is going to be Asuka.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, which reminds me, if you are
I'm switching my pick then.
All right. Well, I was gonna say
we can't have Asuka eliminated.
Well, I was gonna bring that up. If you were to pick SmackDown, how would you eliminate Asuka? It'd have to be count out, right? Or
count out.
Or...
They would, if they want to eliminate Asuka, have frickin' Carmella like trap her legs under something to where she can't move.
Or maybe like have Asuka maybe lock in the Asuka lock and not let go and have her just get disqualified.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a good way to go too.
But I think I'm gonna go Raw, just like you. Okay. But I think I'm gonna stick with the Sasha heel turn in there. But it'll just be then it's down to Asuka as the last one.
Okay. So I'm at 2 Raw, 1 SmackDown. What are you up to? I'm
at 2 Raw, 1 SmackDown.
Okay. So gotta get some SmackDown in this.
Yeah.
So let's go with. Let me see the rest of the card. Might as well go with the Shield versus the New Day match. It has a lot of potential. I'm glad that they're doing this match because they were the hottest faction in a good 2.5, 3 year stretch versus one of the hottest factions now.
Yeah. You could argue this is a battle of the two best 3-man teams in a decade.
In the PG era, I would say. At least in the PG era. If
not, go beyond that.
Maybe in this century. Like, since
the 2000s.
Exactly. This millennium, better.
Like, the only one I can think of in even recent memory that can eclipse them as far as 3-man teams go is the original NWO.
I'd probably put Evolution up there.
They were 4.
I know, but still. I'm talking about factions.
Right. I'm talking specifically three-person because they are a different breed than the larger ones. But yeah.
The Wyatt family had the chance to be, but
yes,
we know how that went.
It went badly.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Jason Jordan beat Bray Wyatt to get that spot, and then Jason Jordan's not even competing now. And neither is Bray Wyatt. and honestly, neither is Kane. Like, you made such a big deal of Kane coming back. Where's Kane on the card? I'm not saying I want him on the card. I'm just saying, where is he?
He's probably going to interfere and eliminate Strowman.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. But we'll get to that in a few.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, Shield versus New Day. I would like to see this match be a mid-card match. Because I have a feeling if it opens, it'll probably wind up being the best match on the card.
Oh, yeah. No matter where it is, it's
Exactly.
gonna probably steal the show.
Yeah, and you don't want your best match being your opener, which means, of course, it's going to be the opener.
Right.
Shield versus New Day. Go ahead.
I still have to go Shield, so yeah.
God damn it. Screw it. Shield.
3 Raw, 1 SmackDown.
I can't pick anyone else but them.
Right. If the debacle at TLC hadn't happened, then they could probably get away with having
a loss. Yeah.
A loss.
But exactly. Like, the thing is, New Day's been around for a few years. This is the Shield's first match back together on a pay-per-view. So,
right.
Yeah.
They're going to win that.
Right. So, yeah, we're at 3 Raw, 1 SmackDown.
So then we have...
Unfortunately, Charlotte versus Alexa, Raw Women's Champion versus SmackDown Women's Champion.
Right.
Which means, of course...
I've got to go Charlotte.
I might have to change a prediction. I hate this show so much.
Yeah, I've got to go Charlotte. I think she just got crowned women's champ. She's the top star of the women's division, rightfully. And Alexa can afford to eat a loss because her character is so good at talking her way out of losses.
Fair, yeah. I want to say Alexa, but I can't. I'll go Charlotte. I'll agree with Charlotte.
Yeah. I'd love to see Alexa win. That would be such a boost for her.
Now, is there a cash-in? My question is, how does that work?
Could she cash in on either? Could she cash in on both?
Exactly. And I know Angel brought this up last night. How does that work? Is it the same as the regular Money in the Bank where you can only challenge the guy on your brand, the champion on your brand? Or can you challenge both of them? Or can you challenge either one?
I would have to think it would be show specific.
Okay. So Charlotte wins. Does Carmella cash in?
Yes, I think so. What I think happens is Charlotte gets the win, figure 8, and Carmella's music starts to play, and there's a little delay.
All right, so kind of like Dean Ambrose and how he cashed in,
but different.
Okay.
And then Charlotte turns around to expect an attack from behind. She turns right into one of Alexa's beautiful DDTs. And then Carmella comes out, cashes in, pins her.
Why did I have a feeling you were going to say something else?
What did you think I was going to say?
One of her beautiful... I was like, where's he going with this? And then he said DDTs, and I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah. So just turns right in.
One of her beautiful legs.
Just one of her DDTs spiked on her head after a long match. Carmella gets the win. Okay. Carmella's your new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Okay. I could also see it kind of like how they did it with Ziggler. They let's say all throughout the match, Alexa Bliss targets Charlotte's leg.
Right.
And then, throughout the whole match, it's, can she lock in the figure 8? Oh, how can she lock in the figure 8 if her leg's broken or her leg's, whatever.
Damaged. And then she
locks it in, but after the match, she's still favoring it. And that's when Carmella comes out, and she just, the first thing she does is spike the leg.
I could see that.
I could see that happening too, but I'm going to say no cash in. I don't think this is the time.
I would probably lean towards no cash in as well, but okay. I think there's a good opportunity for it.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. Because with this show, it kind of depends on where they're put on the card now that there's 2 women's matches.
Right.
So I get if the Raw versus SmackDown women's tag match goes first, then I can see a cash in happening.
Right.
If it doesn't, then I can't. I can't see Carmella going into the match as the new champion.
Same.
But yeah, so I'll go Charlotte, no cash in.
Okay.
So that leaves us with Team Raw, Team SmackDown. Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and God versus Team SmackDown of Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena.
Who hasn't shown his face for the entire frickin' build.
You know what's funny though? I went to see Bad Moms 2 for the second time. Because I went last Wednesday, I think. And I don't remember. But I went a while ago, and then I went today with one of my friends. One of the previews was a movie starring John Cena.
Was it Daddy's Home 2?
It might have been that. I don't know.
Was it also had Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell?
No, actually was not that one.
Oh.
Because that movie's out already. I saw a coming attraction for another movie with Cena as like a star, not just an extra, just the star, main character.
Oh. Neat.
I don't know. I don't remember what the name of it was.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that.
John hasn't been around for the build, which right. I think that's going to lend itself to a good pop for him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when Team SmackDown comes out, he's probably going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Team Raw, when they come out, Triple H will probably be the last one.
He has to be. Either him or Angle.
I think Angle might be first. Put Angle first. I think that makes more sense.
The roof is going to blow off that place when his music hits.
Oh, absolutely. They're in Houston, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. This match, again, I might not be that excited for it, but it does have a few possibilities.
I'm excited for it. I think it could end up being a lot like last year's, where it just goes forever and it's nonstop action.
Which reminds me, this pay-per-view is 4 hours. Which means it's 5 hours. Which means it's actually 6.5 hours.
I'm already sleepy.
Which means it's WrestleMania all over again, and you.
No, we don't talk about how long that show went.
You arrive at my house at like 5 o'clock, and you don't leave until like midnight.
I know.
Oh man! For those of you who don't know, we had a big get together for WrestleMania. Walter came to my house when I was at school in Philly. We had a couple of other guests that have appeared on this channel in Q&A questions and other stuff.
The show just dragged so bad.
It did. And, honestly, like once you got past, because I thought that the first match delivered, Kevin Owens and Jericho was eh.
I really liked Owens Jericho.
But I think that once you got past the first 4 matches, it was like,
let's just go.
It just went downhill because I lost interest so much.
I liked Lesnar Goldberg a lot more than I thought I would.
I did too, but it still kind of left that sour taste in my mouth.
Right, like these two are fighting over a title, and neither one of them are going to be wrestling at the next show.
And not to mention, like, even if it's not a minute and 30 seconds, it's still a 4-minute match.
Right.
For a title. For one of the big titles. Ugh. But whatever. That's not WrestleMania. This isn't WrestleMania. This is Survivor Series.
Team Raw, Team SmackDown. I'm going Team SmackDown again. Second year in a row.
I'll probably do the same.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of outside interference.
I don't know about a lot, but there might be some.
I think specifically Owens and Zayn are going to get involved. And I think they will be responsible for the elimination of Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I could see that. I can also see Jason Jordan heel turn happening.
Yeah.
I could see, he can come out and say, you know what, you thought I was too injured to be on your team. Well, I'm not too injured to injure you.
Right.
And that could be a good storyline.
Yeah. I think
you could have Triple H turn on Angle.
Yeah. A lot of people have been mentioning that, and Triple H costing Team Raw the match by saying it's best for business.
Authority, part 17.
I freaking shoot myself.
Well, I mean, we've already seen Stephanie. Triple H is back on TV again.
Yep.
You know what this is? You know what this is leading to? God's Mania match. Did you want to know why Brett hates Triple H? Reasons like that.
Yep.
But what were you saying before that?
But I think, like I said, I think Owens and Zayn are going to come out and be responsible for the elimination of at least Shane McMahon, if not multiple members of the team.
Right.
I think
you said Kane, right?
And then I think Kane will be responsible for the elimination of Strowman.
Okay.
And then, but I think I'm picking Team SmackDown with, for the first time in his career, the sole survivor, John Cena.
That makes me cringe so much, but yeah, I can agree.
I mean, they've never given him sole survivor. How shocking, how surprising is that?
I'm still surprised he hasn't won the IC title.
Same.
Soon he's going to jump back to Raw.
To win the IC title.
Cena versus Miz, part 3. No mixed tag match this time. Oh my god. Cena Miz 1 sucked. Cena Miz 2 was bad. Just bad.
So we're both. So I went Team SmackDown.
I also went Team SmackDown. So now we're tied.
3-3.
Which leads us to Bork Laser versus AJ Styles.
I think they're going to tear the house down. I think it's going to be really good. I think AJ's going to fly around and bump for Lesnar a lot. I think Lesnar's going to allow AJ to sell the fact that he is the quicker, the speedier, the better wrestler.
Right.
I think there's going to be a point in the match where AJ has Lesnar down for like 2 9/10.
Okay.
But I think at the end of the day, after 2 F5s, 1 caught out of a phenomenal forearm, Brock's going to win.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be as competitive as a lot of people are saying it's going to be. I'd probably have to go with Brock, but I'm not going to say it's going to be a total squash. I don't see it being competitive or that competitive.
Right.
AJ might get 1 or 2 lucky strikes. But I think at the end of the day, it's probably just going to be Brock. Brock being Brock. It's unfortunate because, sadly, this is a 4-hour show and this is the main event of it. So you really need this match to deliver, and I'm just not confident.
I think it will. I think Brock finally has an opponent he can sink his teeth into and actually go out there and put forth the effort that we all know he's capable of.
See, then that makes me think, I said the same thing about Ambrose. And their match was bad.
Right, but then you have to think at the time, Brock was prepping himself for that UFC fight.
True. Ugh. I hate Brock being back. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't mind it if he wasn't champ again.
I hate the fact that I don't mind him coming back for a special match, but I hate when they put the belt on him because A, he's not there, and B, his matches pretty much go the same all the time. It's, my opponent gets a couple lucky strikes, but suplex, F5, win. Same thing with the Strowman match. I thought the Strowman match was going to tear the roof off the joint. I thought it was going to steal the show, and it was just 9 minutes of slow action where, Braun dominated for the first minute, and then it was Brock. I don't know. I'm hopeful, but not confident.
Right.
Which means Raw wins for the second straight year in both of our books. Because last year they won before they even got to the tag match.
Did they?
Yeah. It actually made the tag match feel a little bit awkward. Because ultimately, what was SmackDown fighting for?
True.
I hope that this Survivor Series does do well. I hope that these matches are good.
Yeah. Last year's Survivor Series delivered pretty well.
Yeah, I think some of the matches delivered really well. The freaking 5-on-5 match that went 50 minutes was really good.
Yeah.
I thought Brock versus Goldberg had the potential to lead to something good.
It was the most shocking moment of the year.
It was. I remember doing a video saying how, that finish could work, but ultimately they put the belt on him, and that just eliminated anything working.
Right. If they wouldn't have put the belt on Goldberg and they would have just done the Mania match, that would have worked so well.
Exactly.
Because they beat the crap out of each other. They brawled all around ringside. I was so surprised that either of them were willing to do the spear through the barricade.
Yeah.
Because that could have hurt Goldberg bad.
Absolutely.
He gets too much momentum and he gets too much height. He's spiking himself on his head.
Yeah. I think that's probably one of the most dangerous moves, in wrestling, just in general.
Right. Because
even if you're a guy like Roman.
Because it's even more dangerous than what Big E does, and Big E does it through the ropes. Because Big E's headed towards padding.
Yeah.
They're headed towards straight concrete.
Yeah. Big E has done that at least a few times where I thought he could have died.
Yeah.
It's a cool move, don't get me wrong. But if you hit it wrong, you're dead.
Yeah. Especially someone the size of Big E.
Exactly. But it makes him unique, which is fine.
Right.
But at the same time, there's always a risk factor in wrestling anyway. But with moves like that,
you're upping it tenfold.
Exactly. But yeah, that is Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver. So that'll lead us to one more pay-per-view. I think Clash of Champions for SmackDown is coming in December.
Let me see. They're probably going to both have a pay-per-view in December, and I'm going to want to bomb it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that Raw maybe has Roadblock. But at the same time, Clash of Champions is taking place December 17th. That makes me wonder, when did they have time to do a Raw pay-per-view?
That's true.
Because that's dead smack in the middle of December.
Yeah, that's really weird. Unless
Maybe
they're gonna try to just go back to alternating months for exclusive pay-per-views.
Maybe.
Which that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, because it's Clash of Champions and then it's Rumble. And then I'm sure they're probably going to do... They might bring back the Chamber again.
But this time it would be for Raw.
Yeah.
Because they're doing that stupid thing where they alternate which brands get what pay-per-views.
Yeah, because last year Raw had Clash of Champions. Last year Smackdown had TLC. Last year Smackdown had No Mercy.
And Raw had Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Raw had Hell in a Cell.
The only SmackDown, I think the only pay-per-view they kept was Backlash.
Yeah.
Because Raw had... Oh, no, Extreme Rules last year took place when there was no brand split.
Right.
So Raw had Extreme Rules this year, which means SmackDown will probably have it next year. Payback, I can see it being a dual-branded show if they still do it after Mania.
Yeah. There is no pay-per-view advertised between Clash of Champions and the Rumble.
Hopefully this means a good, solid, lengthy build up to the Rumble, which probably means they're going to cram everything into the last week.
And you know what I really hope they do with the Rumble this year?
What?
That they don't do anymore, that they need to do? Qualifying matches. Make being in the Rumble
mean something.
Right.
Or, the matches that they had where, the winner gets number 30, the loser gets number 1.
Right.
Or do like a tag team match and, the winners qualify for the Rumble. And do something where the losers, let's say it's a 6-man tag team match. The losers have them compete in a triple threat match. Winner gets a spot. They can do so many different things.
Right, to build to the Rumble.
I really don't like it when they just come out and announce, hey, I'm in the Rumble.
It's like, cool, what did you do to earn that?
Yeah, like, all right, why are you here?
Like, we all know
the Shield are all going to be in it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if Brock's still champion, Roman's winning.
Unless they find another way to get Roman the title shot.
Oh, Roman. Going back to Philly. All right, wait a second. Do they boo him?
It depends.
He's with the Shield.
Probably not.
I still think they do.
Individually, I think they do. If, say, the Shield have a 6-man earlier in the night,
yeah,
they cheer them as a unit.
Okay. Fair point.
Speaking of that, did you see the whole some guy posted this stuff like on how to reject Roman Reigns? Like, they were like, you cheer the Shield as a unit, but when Roman's in the ring, you turn your back, and then you boo as loud as possible. And if you hear children cheering them, you explain to them that he's not good.
Oh, God.
And then he was like, and then you accuse their parents of assaulting you so they get kicked out.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. Listen, I get it that you don't like Roman. I get it, but telling a kid not to like him.
Come on now.
Telling a kid that, the assault part.
Right.
What was that again?
Telling security that their parents assaulted, say I was doing this, which I wouldn't. I would go to security and be like, "This guy hit me," and point at the kid's dad, so they'd both be removed.
Stupid. And then that's the one part of wrestling fans that I don't like that ability to be just a straight up asshole.
Right.
Like, I'll go out there and say it, like, you people suck.
Yeah. They feel so entitled to having it their way. Like, I get it. They need to listen to the fans more.
Yeah.
But acting like this isn't going to make them listen to the fans more. You know what is? Things like the Yes movement.
Yeah.
Do it within the confines of the event.
Right.
Don't hijack the whole show or whatever.
Yeah, and while a match is going on, you don't chant for announcers, don't chant for other wrestlers, don't chant CM Punk because he's not coming back. Get over it.
If say it's Roman Brock, which it's probably going to be. Say they want it to be Finn Brock.
Yeah.
Cheer as loudly as possible for Finn. Chant for Finn at every given point in time. And do it during the Rumble. Because you're trying to make your specific point.
Right. But but to me though, like, once you get to that Roman Brock match, don't chant for Finn. Because it didn't happen.
Right.
So, and it's not going to, so get over it.
Even though I think that's going to be the Rumble title matches.
Yeah, I could
Finn
probably
versus Brock.
But a lot of people say, and this is why sometimes when I reviewed the Rumble in 2014, I bashed Cena and Orton mainly because the match itself got affected by the crowd being stupid. The crowd can affect the flow of a match.
Oh, yeah.
And the match was, without that crowd, mute the TV, it wasn't that bad of a match.
It was very basic.
It was. But I couldn't focus on the match because I was too busy focusing on the crowd chanting JBL or the crowd chanting CM Punk or Daniel Bryan or whatever.
Right. But also, for that specific instance, you have to put some of the onus on WWE.
No, I agree.
For giving us Orton and Cena over and over again.
Trust me, I agree. But, the fans doing that, thinking it's going to make the match better, no. It makes the viewing experience so much worse.
Right.
And, as a fan, like, sometimes I just want to mute the TV because I just don't want to hear it.
Right. Yeah, it goes both ways.
The two-edged sword, whatever.
Mute Rock Hogan. That match is garbage.
Yeah.
Put the sound on. It's one of the coolest experiences.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best matches from a pure atmosphere standpoint that I've ever seen.
Yeah. There was solid noise throughout that entire match. And loud.
Yeah. And, even though there were more Hogan supporters than Rock supporters, Rock fans still got their share in.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great atmosphere. And even a match like, Punk Cena at Money in the Bank 2011. I went back to watch it a little bit. And there were a couple of, like, mistimed spots, a few botches. It was a little bit sloppy. But what made the match really good was the crowd.
And the story and everything.
Exactly.
And the fact that, aside from those few things, both guys executed pretty much flawlessly.
Yeah, but like I said, if you mute the TV, it's a pretty solid match. If you add the crowd to it, it
It's
makes
5
it
stars.
makes it 10 times better. But yeah, fan experience, or fan involvement, I should say,
Is key.
Can go both ways.
Yes.
And it's key, but sometimes you just don't want it to happen.
Right. And then like
I'll say this too. When I go to a show or when I watch a show, I'm not gonna chant 10.
Right.
Because if I'm watching, John Cena versus Randy Orton, what the hell does Ty Dillinger have to do with this match?
Right. If it's a Ty Dillinger match, I'll chant 10 till I can't chant anymore.
Yeah. Oh God, it's gonna be horrible at the Rumble when the number 10 comes out.
Because it's probably gonna be Dillinger again.
Yeah, they're gonna go the predict. Watch, he comes out at number 9. he comes out at number 9, and then they turn on the whole match and just boo them. And then they blame Dillinger for that, and they boo him. It's your fault that you got the number 9.
There are people, I forgot who I heard say this. There are people out there that think Ty Dillinger's gimmick would be a lot more suited for being a heel.
Yeah. I get, like, the message the gimmick's trying to send, like, oh, he's perfect. He's, like, the guy.
Yeah. And his face stuff worked really well on NXT because he was playing the underdog the entire time.
Right.
Like,
but now,
he was always crawling up, like, from adversity. He ran into Bobby Roode. Then he was fighting off the entirety of Sanity.
Right.
And there was the story in that because Eric Young trained him. And that's how he got a lot of his following, was the genuine build.
Right.
Like, they made them genuinely care about what he did just by his story.
Right. Sorry, I'm just it's raining, my window's open. I'm trying to make sure the rain doesn't come in.
Right. And so that's how they got him so over. And when they got him over, the 10 chants got over.
Right.
And now they chanted at every freaking count out.
And you know what? You can understand why a guy like Christian Miracle puts the 10-cent penalty up.
Right.
Because it's annoying. If he's not in the match, if he's not involved, don't chant his name.
Right.
Don't chant the 10 chant. Even what other annoying chants do they do?
Oh God, the 1-2 sweet thing.
1-2 sweet. Oh yeah. What else? Crap. Oh, you know what chant I hate?
What?
The "This is wrestling" chant. Like, yeah, it's wrestling.
It's what we pay. It's what we paid to see.
Like,
it is.
I would
observant.
I would hope it's wrestling. You're at a wrestling show.
I get the point behind it.
Yeah.
I get the point behind it. They're like, yes, this is what we love about wrestling.
Right.
Like when you just break down what they're saying, it's like,
yeah.
Duh.
This is wrestling. Well, yeah. I hate the "This is awesome" chant because it gets chanted at every mid-card match. That's not great. It's funny. They'll chant that at a mediocre mid-card match, and then when something actually is awesome, they won't chant it.
Right.
Like, make up your minds.
I think the "holy shit" chant gets way overdone. Yes.
Now it's like, a suplex to the apron. Holy shit. Like, it's a suplex. Oh, man. But yeah, there's our random rambling about
Right.
the yes chant. Shady said he thinks that's clarification. Shady, you think it's annoying or do you just like it?
I'm pretty sure he hates it.
He just put a thumbs up. He just put 5 thumbs up. First of all, thank you, Shady, for tuning in. Thank you to the other viewer for tuning in. There's 2 of them actually viewing this. I appreciate that. We're pretty much done. We're just rambling about chants and whatnot. Unless you have something else to add.
Not really. Is there any non-Survivor Series stuff you want to talk about? Oh, I have a fun one to bring up.
I'm still mad about Bisping.
Same sport.
Oh,
UFC 219. Have you seen the fight that Tyrone Woodley's trying to get?
No, I haven't. Hang on one second.
He's trying to get Nate Diaz.
Why?
I don't know.
That's a step down.
Here's what I think is the reasoning for Tyrone Woodley trying to get Nate Diaz.
Oh, Shady. Sorry to interrupt. Shady just said I hate it, referring to the yes chant.
But I think Tyrone Woodley's trying to get at Nate Diaz because anytime Nate Diaz fights, it sells.
Yeah, I see that.
Tyrone Woodley, even if Nate Diaz goes up to 170 and is the same weight, would ragdoll Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Tyrone Woodley is just a much larger man. So I think he's trying to get I think he's trying to get an easy money fight.
Probably, yeah.
Where, to me, there's so many other fights for Woodley to have.
Right.
I think a trilogy with Thompson is basically needed at this point.
UFC. I'm looking at UFC 218's card. Max Holloway, Jose Aldo.
That's going to be fun.
Alistair Overeem.
Versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, Sergio Pettis, Eddie Alvarez is on the card.
Give Sergio Pettis a flyweight title shot.
Yes. Pretty solid card.
Yeah. So
at the Little Caesars Arena.
I think if Aldo can get back in his game, he's going to take the title from Holloway.
Yeah, I could see that.
If he can get back to digging in those leg kicks using the quick moving Muay Thai to keep Holloway at a distance that he used for so long in his title run, I think Aldo will be able to take care of Holloway. I think whoever wins between Overeem and Ngannou has to be the next challenger for Stipe. Okay. Unless they already have Kane penciled in for a title shot.
They probably do, or they might. Question. Sorry to interrupt. Who is Volkan Ozdemir?
I don't know.
Oh, well, apparently UFC 220, he's facing Cormier for the light heavyweight title. Don't even know who he is.
Neither do I.
Now I have a couple of months to figure out who he is.
But yeah,
I'm just looking at like the future
UFC events. Right. Ngannou's been running through the heavyweight division for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he beats Alistair, which ever since USADA, Alistair's chin has been glass.
Yeah. I remember after Overeem's first UFC fight, he got suspended.
Yeah, because he beat Brock.
He didn't beat Brock. He destroyed Brock.
He massacred Brock.
Poor Brock.
And then he popped.
Yep.
I think he popped like after the post-fight test, though. I think he popped like before his next fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're down to 0 viewers. You guys suck. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Unlimited podcast. Because I can't get more than 0 viewers. I blame Walter for this. UFC is going to Northeast Brazil. First visit to the country's northern region, apparently.
Huh.
Which is unique.
Yeah.
UFC 221.
Yeah.
Oh, while not announced officially, apparently UFC 221 is going to have GSP versus Whitaker.
That kind of has to happen.
Yeah, at this point.
Right. Whitaker's been sitting there with the interim title for how long now?
Right. They're targeting that match for 221, and that will be in February in Australia.
Oh, Whitaker's going to be the hometown guy. GSP's going to get booed out of the building.
And it'll air at 7 a.m.
Christ. One of the most frustrating fighters is coming back at 219. Will he make weight? Will he get injured in his camp? Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And he's facing Edson Barbosa.
Absolutely. If Khabib can stay healthy, once they do the unification, he has to be the next challenger at lightweight. No matter if it's Ferguson or McGregor.
Who else is fighting? Carlos Condit's on that card.
I love Carlos Condit.
I do too. Miles Jury's on the card. Let's see. UFC 222. Women's bantamweight bout has been announced for UFC 222. Kat Zingano and Caitlin Vieira. Never even heard of them.
Kat Zingano was one of Rousey's title defenses.
Yeah. So we know how that went.
Short.
Very short. Anything else?
No.
I was kind of holding this because I invited Shady to join if he wanted to. So I was kind of holding off on ending it. But he hasn't responded, so bye guys.
Thank you for joining us on the Unlimited podcast.
Yes, thank you, Walter, for appearing. Thank you for the 2 viewers that watched. Thank you for liking this video, disliking this video, subscribing to this channel, sharing this video, sharing this channel. You guys are great. I'll be back with some more content in December. You're gonna get a Q&A from me tonight. No question about that.
Right.
The Unlimited Awards will be returning for the 4th straight year in December. More about that process coming up. In the meantime, I'm Matt from Unlimited. You have watched the Unlimited podcast.